Hey hockey player, in this video I'm going to be running you through the exercise demonstrations for the hip warm-up. This is going to be an 8 exercise back-to-back circuit that you're going to perform each movement just one time. Let's get it started. First one is going to be the split jack. So how a normal jumping jack would be here, a split jack is going to be the same movement with your arms, but forward movement with the legs. So we're going to be here, alternating legs. Okay, that's how we're going to be doing the split jack. Second movement that we're doing is the quadruped extension rotation. Quadruped extension rotation. Quadruped just simply means we're down on all fours here. That's your quadruped movement. Quadruped extension rotation means we're going to have one hand on the side of our head coming down and then full rotation up, getting that thoracic extension for our spine at the top and back down. Rotation, down. You're going to perform that on each side before moving to the next exercise, which is your side lying windmill. Side lying windmill is going to be a movement where we're down and we're grounded. We're going to have our bottom hand faced in a supine position, so palm up. We're going to be here, this hand over top of it, and we're going to windmill all the way out until we're in a T position, and then come all the way back, trying to keep our hand as close to the ground as possible. That's how we're going to be doing the side lying windmill on each side. Next exercise in this warm-up is your alternating T-stand. T-stand is a standing movement. It's a very difficult movement for hip stability and also hip mobility. For the T-stand, you're going to have your hands up, and then we're also going to extend one leg directly backwards to try and form a T with our body. Slowly going in, keeping your back leg in extension, keeping the front of your body in extension, make our T, and then slowly come back up to our starting position. At that point, I would then alternate to my other leg and alternate back and forth until I've completed the amount of reps for that exercise. The next exercise that you're going to move forward into is the hip circle. A lot of us are already familiar with the hip circle. We're going to take on a wider stance. We're going to have our hands on our hips and just make really big circles. We want to have a stretch in the hamstring at the back. We want to have a nice stretch in our hips on the side and a nice stretch in the front of our hips in the front. So make this nice and exaggerated. This won't do anything if you hang out here. That's hula hooping. You want to be really big motion here because that is a mobility movement. After the hip circles, we're going to move into the frog squats. A frog squat is a squat where you're going to take on like a prayer position with your hand. You're going to be here all the way in a deep squat position, but then I'm just going to flatten out my back. So I'm not actually going to get all the way vertical. Extend the extend the legs, but flatten out the back. Back into position, here. Here. That's how you're going to be performing the frog squats. After that, you're going to move into what's known as a shoulder T. Shoulder T, we're going to be belly on the ground. We're going to have our thumbs pointed up. I call it open can position. If you had an open can, you'd have to hold it like this, because if you held it like this, everything would spill. So you want to be on your belly, down. We're going to make a T with our body, but we're going to go open can, which means thumbs up, and then contract. So I'm bringing my shoulder blades, I'm pinching them together right now, and I'm going to hold this position for the allotted time for the warm-up. This can also be repped out. So if you're uncomfortable holding this position, then you can also come back and forth and pulse for this aspect of the warm-up. That's how you're going to be doing the shoulder T. And last but not least is the Cossack squat. Cossack squat is a lateral squat where my upper body is actually eventually going to rotate and turn the other way. So I've got a wider stance here, hands up. I'm going to lower my body down to this side and keep my weight primarily on my heel while I turn my toe up in that direction. Up. up. That's how we're going to perform the Cossack squat, and those are all the exercises for the hip warm-up.